Have you ever gone to bed feeling completely fine, cozy in your favorite position, only to wake up to a nightmare you never expected? As a brain doctor, I'm shocked to reveal a truth that could change the way you think about sleep forever. The position you choose tonight could quietly raise your risk of stroke, especially after 60. No chest pain, no dizziness, no warning, just a sudden life-altering stroke that can steal your ability to speak, walk, or even embrace the people you love. I have seen strong, vibrant seniors, grandparents, teachers, even community leaders lose everything because of simple sleeping habits they believed were harmless. But the truth is, they are not. In this video, I'm exposing 7 dangerous sleeping positions and nighttime routines that may be putting your brain at serious risk. The best part? You can make small but powerful changes starting tonight to protect yourself. Stay with me until the end, because even one simple adjustment could mean the difference between waking up to your normal life or facing a reality where everything you cherish slips away. If you don't like it, simply let me know so I can improve. Now, let's begin. First, sleeping flat on your back with no pillow. This is a silent stroke trap. Picture yourself settling into bed, arms by your sides, head resting directly on the mattress. For many seniors, this feels natural, even soothing, as if it relieves back tension or opens the chest for easier breathing. Some even believe it eases chronic pain or promotes calm. But hidden beneath this seemingly harmless habit lies real danger. Sleeping flat on your back without elevating your head can quietly raise your risk of stroke, setting the stage for a life-changing event while you sleep. When the head rests level with, or even below the heart, it may look harmless, perhaps even beneficial for circulation. The truth is, as we age, the cardiovascular system changes. Blood vessels, especially the veins that drain blood from the brain, lose flexibility and become less adaptable. In this flat position, those veins are forced to work against gravity to return blood to the heart, leading to pooling or slowed flow in the brain. This sluggish circulation creates the perfect setting for clots to form, especially in the early morning when blood pressure naturally spikes. For seniors with age-related changes like narrowed arteries or hidden hypertension, even a tiny clot in a critical vessel can trigger an ischemic stroke. The result can be slurred speech, partial paralysis, or even death. Take the story of Margaret, a 74-year-old retired librarian from Portland, Oregon. Known for her quick wit and love of crossword puzzles, she also had a nightly ritual: sleeping flat on her back without a pillow, believing it eased her mild back pain. One cold morning, her husband, Tom, awoke to find her staring blankly at the ceiling, her left arm limp and unresponsive. In panic, he called 911. At the hospital, doctors confirmed she had suffered an ischemic stroke caused by a clot in her middle cerebral artery. Further testing revealed a hidden culprit. Her flat sleeping position, combined with stiffened arteries, had slowed blood flow in the brain just enough to allow a clot to form. Now Margaret depends on a walker to move around and struggles to find words that once came easily at book club. Tom, still weighed down with regret, admitted, "If we had known something as simple as using a pillow could have made a difference, we would have bought one years ago." It's a thought that still haunts me, because the science is undeniable. Elevating your head during sleep can dramatically lower this risk. By raising your head just 15 to 30 degrees, using 1 or 2 firm pillows or a wedge pillow, gravity helps drain blood from the brain, easing pressure and keeping circulation steady. This simple elevation ensures your brain stays well oxygenated, reducing the chance of clot formation. The key is choosing a pillow that supports the natural curve of your neck without pushing your chin forward, since that could strain the spine or compress your airway. For seniors with hypertension, diabetes, or a history of vascular problems, this isn't just a matter of comfort. It's a small but powerful change that could protect your independence, preserve your memory, and safeguard the very essence of who you are. The solution is straightforward. Invest in a firm or wedge pillow that keeps your head raised at a gentle 15 to 30 degree angle while maintaining proper neck alignment. If you're uncertain about your stroke risk, it's wise to consult your healthcare provider, especially if you live with atrial fibrillation or sleep apnea. Remember, one adjustment tonight could be the difference between waking up to your morning coffee or waking up to a life-changing emergency. Now let's move to the second risk, sleeping face down. For many, lying prone with your face pressed into the pillow and your neck twisted to one side feels like the deepest comfort, almost like sinking into a cocoon. Some even believe it eases lower back pain by stretching the spine. But for seniors, this familiar position hides a dangerous secret, silently disrupting blood flow to the brain and raising the risk of a stroke that could take away the ability to walk, speak, or live freely. When you sleep face down, your neck is forced into an unnatural twist just to keep breathing. This puts tremendous strain on the vertebral arteries, those vital vessels that run through the cervical spine and deliver oxygen-rich blood to the back of the brain, including the cerebellum, which controls balance, coordination, and awareness. That sharp twist can compress or even kink these arteries, slowing circulation. At the same time, the carotid arteries in the front of the neck may also be affected, especially if a thick pillow forces your head backward. For seniors already facing stiffened arteries, high blood pressure, or undiagnosed sleep apnea, this restricted blood flow can create a dangerous storm. Stagnant blood increases the chance of clot formation, and even a tiny clot in a narrowed vessel can spark a stroke, often in the early morning hours when the body is most vulnerable. Take the story of James, a 69-year-old retired firefighter from Austin, Texas. Known for his strength and courage, he had spent years sleeping face down to ease back pain from his career, convinced it was harmless. One night, his wife, Linda, woke to the sound of his heavy, uneven breathing. By morning, James couldn't move his right side or keep his balance. A brain scan later confirmed a cerebellar stroke, caused by a clot in a vertebral artery that had been slowly compromised by his prone sleeping habit. Today, James depends on a cane to get around. He can no longer drive to his favorite fishing spot and struggles with the frustration of his new limitations. "I thought I was just toughing out the pain," he admitted, his voice heavy with regret. "I had no idea my sleep position was putting my life at risk." Switching to a safer position can dramatically lower that danger. Side sleeping, often called the lateral position, is one of the best choices. It helps maintain proper alignment of the spine and neck while keeping blood flowing freely through the vertebral and carotid arteries. A firm pillow that keeps your head level with your spine is key to avoiding unnecessary strain. For those who find it difficult to give up stomach sleeping, transitioning gradually with the help of a body pillow can make the shift easier. If lying face down is the only comfortable option, then use a very thin pillow, or none at all, to minimize neck twisting and compression of the arteries. The solution is simple. Train yourself to rest on your side with a supportive pillow that aligns your head and spine. If stomach sleeping is unavoidable, adjust carefully, and always consider consulting a doctor if you have risk factors, such as high blood pressure or sleep apnea. Physical therapy may also help address back pain that pushes you into unhealthy sleep habits. Protecting healthy blood flow to the brain is one of the most important steps you can take to wake up strong and safe each morning. For many seniors, pulling a heavy blanket over the head at night feels like comfort itself, a habit that brings back childhood memories, blocks out noise, and creates a sense of warmth and safety. It may seem harmless, even soothing. Yet this ritual quietly carries a serious and often overlooked danger. When you sleep with a thick blanket covering your head, you create a confined space where exhaled carbon dioxide builds up while fresh oxygen is restricted. Instead of nourishing your brain, the air becomes stale. Over time, oxygen levels drop, leaving your brain struggling, especially since age naturally reduces vascular efficiency. This oxygen deprivation, known as hypoxia, causes the blood to thicken and makes clot formation more likely. The danger is highest during the early morning hours, when blood pressure naturally spikes and strokes most often occur. What seems like a cozy cocoon can actually set the stage for a life-altering medical emergency. For seniors with conditions like sleep apnea, COPD, or heart disease, This lack of oxygen makes the risk even greater. It can trigger an ischemic stroke, where a clot blocks blood flow to the brain, leaving behind confusion, slurred speech, or lasting disability. Evelyn, an 80-year-old grandmother from Bangor, Maine, experienced this firsthand. She was known for her lively spirit and her passion for knitting scarves for her grandchildren. Every night, she pulled a heavy quilt over her head, convinced it kept her warm and cozy in her drafty home. But one cold morning, her daughter Sarah found her unable to form clear sentences or recognize familiar objects. Doctors confirmed she had suffered a stroke, brought on by low oxygen levels and thickened blood caused by her blanket-covered sleep. Today, Evelyn struggles to hold her knitting needles, turning a once joyful pastime into a painful reminder. Sarah recalls, "We thought her blanket habit was harmless. We never imagined it was silently suffocating her brain." The solution is to create a sleep environment that supports healthy breathing. Replace heavy, non-breathable quilts with lighter cotton or bamboo bedding that allows air to circulate. And if light or noise is the concern, a breathable sleep mask or quality earplugs are far safer than pulling a blanket over your head. Maintaining a bedroom temperature between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit can keep you comfortable without piling on heavy layers. For those with respiratory or heart conditions, it may even be worth discussing nighttime oxygen needs or a sleep apnea evaluation with a doctor. The real fix is simple. Trade thick blankets for breathable bedding and never cover your head while sleeping. If light keeps you awake, choose a comfortable sleep mask. For noise, use quality earplugs. Keep your room cool and well ventilated. And if you live with conditions such as sleep apnea or cardiovascular disease, seek a thorough medical assessment. Remember, ensuring your brain gets enough oxygen isn't just about sleeping well. It's about protecting your life and independence. Now, let's talk about another overlooked danger: sleeping upright in a recliner. For many seniors, that favorite chair turns into more than just a place to sit. It becomes a makeshift bed. The appeal is obvious. Aching joints, persistent reflux, or shortness of breath from COPD or heart failure can make lying flat feel impossible. Wrapped in a blanket with the TV humming softly, reclining at a 45 to 60 degree angle may seem like a safe haven. Yet, beneath this comfort lies a hidden risk. Sleeping in a recliner can seriously disrupt blood flow, quietly increasing the chance of stroke, especially in older adults. When you sleep in a semi-upright position, gravity pulls blood downward into the legs, hips, and pelvis. This pooling slows circulation, and in seniors, it's compounded by thicker blood caused by age-related changes or conditions like diabetes, hypertension, or high cholesterol. As vessels narrow and stiffen with age, proper flow becomes even harder to maintain. Over time, this sluggish circulation creates the perfect environment for dangerous blood clots to form in the deep veins of the legs, a condition known as deep vein thrombosis, or DVT. If one of these clots breaks loose during the night, it can travel to the brain and block a vessel, triggering an ischemic stroke. The reclined position also disrupts the body's natural ability to regulate blood pressure, causing fluctuations that fragile arteries can't always handle. These swings can strain vessel walls, raising the risk of rupture or clot formation. Take Barbara's story as a warning. A 76-year-old retired baker from Florida. She found comfort in her recliner after hip replacement surgery, convinced it was safer than struggling to sleep in a bed. For years, she ignored swollen ankles, morning dizziness, and lingering fatigue, brushing them off as normal signs of aging. But one morning, she woke disoriented, her left hand limp and unresponsive. A small ischemic stroke had struck, caused by a clot linked to poor circulation from years of recliner sleeping. Now dependent on a wheelchair and facing a long recovery, Barbara admits with regret, "I thought I was just getting old. I never imagined my recliner could do this to me." The solution is not to give up elevation altogether, especially for those managing acid reflux or breathing issues, but to choose safer alternatives. An adjustable bed frame or a wedge pillow that elevates the torso by 10 to 20 degrees can provide relief without compressing the lower body or disrupting circulation. Simple habits like stretching your legs and flexing your feet throughout the day help stimulate blood flow. If you use a recliner during the day, avoid sleeping in it for long periods and never rely on it as your main bed. Regular movement, proper hydration, and consulting with a doctor about supportive measures such as compression stockings can further reduce the risk. Your brain deserves a sleep setup that protects its health, not one that silently puts it in danger. Sleeping on your right side with your arm under the pillow might feel like the safest, most comforting position, but for seniors, it hides serious risks. Curling up this way may feel like a warm embrace, offering familiarity and security, yet it can also turn into one of the deadliest positions for your brain. For many, this is a lifelong habit, practiced for decades without a second thought. Yet for seniors, what seems like an innocent posture can be one of the most dangerous, quietly restricting blood flow to the brain and setting the stage for a stroke. When you lie on your right side with your arm tucked beneath your head, the weight of your body compresses two critical vessels, the right carotid artery in your neck and the subclavian artery near your shoulder. These arteries are the main highways delivering oxygen-rich blood to the brain. While younger, more flexible vessels may tolerate the pressure, aging arteries often cannot. Plaque buildup, atherosclerosis, or years of stiffening make them far more vulnerable. Compression slows circulation, creating stagnant pools where clots can quietly form. The danger intensifies in the early morning hours between 2 and 6 a.m., when blood pressure naturally surges. This rise can dislodge a clot, sending it to the brain and triggering a devastating ischemic stroke. Consider Robert, a 71-year-old Army veteran from Arizona. Since his military days in the 1970s, he always slept on his right side with his arm under the pillow. It felt safe, familiar, and comforting, until the morning it nearly cost him everything. But one morning, Robert woke unable to move his left leg, his balance suddenly unsteady. A stroke caused by a clot in his compressed carotid artery had stolen his mobility. Now reliant on a brace and ongoing therapy, his voice trembles as he admits, "I thought I was safe all those years. I was so wrong." The solution is to transition to sleeping on your left side, with your arms resting forward or alongside your body, rather than pinned under your head. A contoured cervical pillow can support proper neck and spine alignment, easing pressure on vital blood vessels. For those long accustomed to the right side, the change may feel awkward at first, but even a small adjustment can deliver profound benefits. Try practicing this safer position during short naps to make the shift easier. By keeping alignment and blood flow in check, you protect your brain and safeguard your ability to walk, talk, and embrace those you love. 6. Tossing and turning through the night. Your brain's cry for help. For many seniors, restless sleep filled with shifting from side to side, frequent awakenings, and constant readjustment seems like an unavoidable part of aging. Arthritis, an overactive bladder, or racing thoughts often take the blame. But this pattern is more than a nuisance. It may be your brain signaling trouble, raising stroke risk with every restless turn. Each abrupt movement disrupts blood flow, especially in seniors whose arteries have stiffened or narrowed with age or conditions like hypertension. These brief interruptions, though seemingly minor, can create micro-stagnations in blood flow, setting the stage for clot formation. Restless sleep also worsens other stroke risks by spiking cortisol, destabilizing blood pressure, and inflaming blood vessels, all heavy burdens on an aging cardiovascular system. Dehydration, common in seniors who avoid drinking water before bed to limit nighttime bathroom trips, thickens the blood and further increases clot risk. Low oxygen levels, often tied to undiagnosed sleep apnea or poor quality sleep, add even more danger. Nancy, a 73-year-old retired nurse from Colorado, spent months tossing and turning, blaming her arthritis and long years of work on her feet. She woke often, shifting positions through the night, until one evening she was struck by slurred speech and a numb right arm. A small stroke had hit, triggered by unstable circulation and poor rest. Now in physical therapy to rebuild her strength, She reflects with regret. I thought I was just restless. I didn't know my brain was crying out for help. The solution is to treat restless sleep as a medical symptom, not simply a part of aging. Start by creating a sleep-friendly environment. Keep the room cool at 65 to 68 degrees, dark and quiet to encourage deep rest. Avoid caffeine or alcohol in the evening, since both can fragment sleep. A supportive body pillow can also ease aching joints, helping reduce the urge to constantly change positions. Stay well hydrated during the day to prevent your blood from thickening, but taper fluids a few hours before bedtime to reduce nighttime awakenings. If restlessness continues, consult your doctor about a sleep study to check for conditions such as sleep apnea, which affects nearly 1 in 5 seniors and greatly increases stroke risk. By addressing the underlying causes of restless sleep, you create a safe space for your brain to restore, heal, and thrive. 7. Sleeping after skipping blood pressure or heart medication. A single mistake with devastating consequences. Forgetting a pill is easy when fatigue sets in or evening routines become distracting. You may think one missed dose won't matter, but for seniors on blood pressure or heart medications, even a single skipped dose before bed can raise the risk of a life-threatening stroke during the vulnerable nighttime hours. Medications such as beta blockers, ACE inhibitors, diuretics, and blood thinners act as lifelines. They stabilize blood pressure, regulate heart rhythm, and prevent dangerous clot formation. Missing a dose disrupts this fragile balance, opening the door for sudden spikes in blood pressure, particularly in the early morning when strokes are most likely to strike. Between 2 and 6 a.m., the body naturally experiences a surge in blood pressure and heart rate. For aging arteries already narrowed by plaque or weakened over time, this surge can dislodge a clot or even rupture a fragile vessel, triggering an ischemic or hemorrhagic stroke. The danger is even greater for seniors with conditions like atrial fibrillation, where irregular heart rhythms already promote clot formation. Harold, a 70-year-old retired teacher from Ohio, learned this painful lesson. During a lively family gathering, he forgot his evening blood pressure pill, thinking it was no big deal. By morning, he couldn't speak, his face drooping on one side. A stroke, brought on by an unchecked blood pressure spike, had stolen his voice. Now struggling through speech therapy and relearning how to write, Harold reflects with tears, "One missed pill cost me everything." The solution is clear. Build a system that makes forgetting impossible. Set a nightly alarm on your phone or clock as a reminder, and keep a clearly labeled pill organizer by your bedside, pre-filled for the week. Enlist a trusted family member or caregiver to help check whether you've taken your medication. If forgetfulness is common, a smart pill dispenser that alerts you to missed doses can be a lifesaver. Most importantly, never convince yourself that skipping even one dose is harmless. Your brain depends on the stability these medications provide to get you safely through the night. Thank you for staying with me on this eye-opening journey into how something as simple as sleep can shape your health and your future. I've shared these 7 dangerous sleeping habits not to frighten you, but to empower you with knowledge, to protect your brain, your independence, and the life you love. Every night offers a chance to make choices that preserve your speech, your memories, and your ability to live fully. So, what's one thing you've learned today that makes you rethink your sleep routine? Maybe it's elevating your head, switching sides, or simply never missing that pill again. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's inspire one another to sleep smarter and live stronger. Here's to sleeping wisely, protecting your brain, and embracing each new day with strength and clarity. Wishing you health, happiness, and peace. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Healthy Aging Blueprint.